everybody? Welcome back today for another video. I know it's been a minute since I uploaded anything. Sorry about that, guys. It's been brutal here. We had like an ice storm the other night. There's salt all over the ground, and yeah, I haven't drove this much because of the salt. You know, if you guys understand that salt rots your cars. So I've just been driving my daily driver. I haven't really touched this. I actually just took this to get a car wash, and I'm gonna put a car cover over it just for the time being until it gets a little bit nicer out. I haven't really done anything to it. It's still the same way you guys seen it with me putting the engine in and everything. I do want to say though, it is running absolutely awesome. I do have a slight issue with the oil pressure sending unit. Obviously it has oil pressure, it runs great. It's silent. You know, if it didn't have oil pressure, it'd definitely be making noise. So I had this issue in the past where the plug had like oil in it. So you guys remember that I had an oil leak for my valve cover with the old engine. I don't have no leaks on this engine still, you know, after I put it in and everything. SRT8 Grand Cherokee passing by. But yeah, so I don't have any oil leaks on this engine, but I think there's oil in the plug. I had this issue before. I sprayed it out with brake clean and put diode electrical grease, plugged it back in, and it was fine. So I'm gonna show you guys what it's doing. If it's doing it right now, I don't really know. But the gauge, especially when the car gets like really hot and the oil gets thin, the gauge will actually jump all the way down and it'll say check gauges on my cluster. Like I said, I know it has oil pressure and it's happened to me in the past, so it's not really a big deal. So I'm just gonna go over that with you guys really quick and show you what I'm gonna do to hopefully fix that. Worst case scenario, it needs a sending unit. They're cheap. And then after that, I did some stuff to my daily that I'm gonna share with you guys. Just a couple things, like small things. There's actually gonna be a decent amount of stuff coming for this Subaru because I want to grab some stuff for it. So I definitely want to make my interior nicer and want heated seats in that car and everything. So yeah, that'll be coming up. But let's tackle this and then we'll go over the Subaru, what I did to that, and the Mustang's in the garage. I haven't really touched it, but I'll show you guys that too. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So this is what it's doing. All right. It's actually really not that low right now, but normally it'll go down to like the line in between where we are right now. So like, I guess that's 10 pounds of oil pressure. And then when it gets like really hot, it'll actually dip down to 0 and it'll throw the light that says check gauges. So I'm just gonna unplug that plug, spray it out, put diode electrical grease, plug it back in, and then we'll come back in here and see if this reading actually changed. So let's see what happens. The plug that you want, yeah, I'm doing this with the deep running just because if I turn it off and start it again, the oil pressure is probably going to read higher than what it is now, just because it'll be like, you know, a fresh start. So I'm going to do this with it running. But the plug you want is all the way down here. It's in the back of the motor. It's the oil pressure sending unit. My hand's on it right now. I know it's hard for you guys to see it, but there we go. This guy right here. So if you guys see that, there's all types of crud and gunk in there. And that's going to be our reason why we're not getting an accurate reading on our gauge. So with that unplugged, you guys will be able to see. Wow, that really hurt. I just touched the radiator. that was really hot. But now with that unplugged, you guys will see, this is what I'm talking about. So it'll do this occasionally. Like it'll drop all the way down and say check gauges. So we're going to spray that plug out and we're going to hopefully have a proper reading on the oil pressure gauge. I mean, I personally don't care about the oil pressure reading, but it's annoying when it drops down and then it goes ding and it says check gauges. So we're gonna fix that. Here's the Mustang, guys. Nothing's really changed. I did go to the junkyard and I did grab a washer fluid reservoir, a horn and everything. But to be honest with you guys, I'm not even sure if we're gonna wind up using that because on this car, I'm probably gonna do a tube front end just because of what I'm making the car into. So it's gonna wind up getting chopped more than likely right here, and same thing on the other side, and it's gonna have tubes instead of, you know, the factory sheet metal. It's gonna be better for the long run when I do decide to turbocharge this car. So it's just gonna open up a lot of room up here. The battery will be in the trunk and everything, so that's coming. but I'm on the fence about it. I don't know if I do want to just replace this with factory sheet metal. So that's why I haven't touched this car, just because I don't know which way I want to go, and I don't want to do it twice. So I want to just think long and hard about this, of what I'm going to do here, and then we're going to get it done. But that's going to be in a while, because I honestly don't know exactly which way I want to go with it. So that'll be coming up eventually. But right now we need some brake clean. I know I have diode electrical grease. That is somewhere up here. Let me find all my stuff, and then I'll get back to you guys. Oh, the brake clean's up there. All right, guys, so all I did was spray the plug out. I can't find my diode electrical grease, so it is what it is, but the plug's nice and clean now. So we're gonna plug it back in, and gonna see if it helped, or, you know, see what happens. But it should be good now. Like I said, I had this issue before, and that's all it was. So, I mean, you guys clearly hear we have oil pressure, so definitely know it's not that. And it doesn't look like it helped. It's plugged in right now, and we're reading 0. So let's see what happens if we rev it. Yeah, so now we have a reading. So maybe the sensor's going bad. It's possible. But I didn't have an issue with my last engine, so don't think it's that. Look at how low it is. It's ridiculous. Let's like wiggle the plug and see what happens. I think it's just not making good contact, to be honest with you guys. So that's fully plugged in, and we're still reading check gauges. Oh my goodness. Maybe if we turn it off and restart the Jeep, maybe it'll work better. I'm not too sure, because it's literally just like plummeting downwards. So definitely not good, definitely not good. All right, guys. I found it. I found the grease that I need. So now, hopefully this fixes it. If not, I can go get a sending unit. Probably won't do it today, but definitely gonna need one. Alrighty. Unplug this again. The plug looks a little dirty, but I don't think that'll affect it too much. Let me put some grease on here and plug it back in. All right, guys, so I'm giving it a little gas, and as you can see, it's at 40 pounds of oil pressure. When I let off the gas, yep, there it goes. Why it's doing that? Thinking probably a bad sending unit. I mean, clearly I have oil pressure, so it's definitely not that. But yeah, really annoying. Like really, 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 really annoying. But I'll get a sending unit for it, so it's not that big a deal. Is what it is. All right, guys, so I narrowed it down to the plug being bad. So it's not the actual sending unit, it's the pigtail sensor, or the pigtail, like, you know, the 3-wire plug. So I got to see if I can find one of those. It's not fitting tight, so if I plug it in like a quarter of the way, where it fits like a little bit tighter on the outside there, the gauge actually reads right. So I just can't plug it in all the way, I guess. But yeah, so I gotta see if I can find a pigtail sensor. Like right now I'm reading about 20 pounds of oil pressure at idle, which is, it's pretty normal. But yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can find a harness for that. I don't know, like maybe AutoZone will have it. I don't know. I gotta check, but I'm not gonna bother doing that today. I mean, I'll look it up and see if I can find it, but I'm not in any type of rush. I'm actually about to put a car cover on the Jeep, and then we'll go over to the Subaru and I'll tell you what's going on with that. I know it's just like a little like odds and ends video, guys, but I don't have content for you guys, and like I said, it's been really cold here, so I haven't really been doing much, but you know, I figured I'd give you guys an update on a couple things. So I got the Jeep covered for the most part. I mean, the cover's a little small, but now go over with you guys really quick on the Subaru here. The Subaru has been phenomenal to me. This thing was absolute beast in the snow. I'm gonna put some clips right now of me sliding around in the snow, and I just had it out in the snow. I was having fun with it, so I'll put those clips right now. Hey guys, so here's the Subi. I mean, I didn't really do anything crazy. I did have to replace the exhaust. The exhaust rotted out, so has a WRX catback on it. It just has like a very, very slight tone. It's not loud at all. I mean, you can hear the car when you're driving now, but it's not like loud enough to where somebody walking down the road is gonna hear me, you know, like from, you know, far ways away. So it just has a nice little tone to it. It's not loud at all. And then the front end is what I did here. I did a front lip. This is actually a STI lip. One of my friends gave this to me. He used to have the same car as this. So with these cars, you need the stock lip to put an aftermarket lip, which is just really annoying. The stock lip is very expensive, and you have to get it painted too. So went this route. It looks all right. I think it looks, you know, halfway decent. It looks pretty good. I did wind up stitching my bumper. So that damage isn't from me. That's from a previous owner. And then I also have a badge here. This is supposed to be like a STI badge, but it's a 2.5 I badge, so you're not like up badging your car, you know. I think it looks pretty good. I think it came out good. All right, guys. So I was able to track down the connector. AutoZone has it. The one locally to me, it's $18.99. Duralast part. I'll give you guys the part number when I get the box. I'm just eating really quick, eating some hot dogs. If you guys are local in the area and you never tried Texas Wiener, I highly suggest it. They got banging ass hot dogs. But yeah, let me finish eating, and I'm gonna go wash the Subaru. Hopefully I don't lose my emblem in the front that I showed you guys, because it's only double-sided taped on there, so I guess we'll find out. But yep, so then we'll go get that connector. We'll put that connector on really quick, and that should solve all of our gauge issues with the oil pressure. Like I said, it all depends on how far I plug it in. So if I plug it all the way in, we read 0 pounds of oil pressure. If I plug it halfway in, we read 10 pounds of oil pressure. If I plug it a quarter of the way in, we read like 20 at idle. So it's all types of screwed up. I definitely know it's the connector, not the sending unit. The sending unit's working fine. So I'm gonna go grab that connector, put that on, and we should be good to go, hopefully. All right, guys, so that was a little depressing. Car wash actually closed on me, so wasn't able to watch the daily, but that's okay. We could do that, you know, during the week. Not that big a deal. I did get the plug. Here's the plug. This is the plug for your oil sending unit. This actually changes, I think in 03. It's like a 1-wire plug or a 2-wire plug or something. This is a 3-wire plug. This is for the earlier WJs with the 4-liter. When you're swapping this plug, this is very, very important. These colors are not going to match, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to give yourself a little bit of space on the old plug, you know, so you can see the wires coming out of the plastic plug. This way you can match the colors up accordingly. So you're obviously going to be able to see the harness side of the plug to match those to this, and then you'll have the colors coming out of the original plug to know where they go. So you just hold the plug essentially the same way. You know, I go off where the clip is. So say the clip's on top, mine's on top, you hold them next to each other like that, and then your wires are going to come out the same exact way. Just as long as you don't have it like upside down or something, you'll be good. I'm going to do this with a with weatherproof connectors, you have to heat them up, and they shrink, and they put a good seal on it. I would highly advise that, and wind up electrical taping over all the connectors. So I'm gonna throw this in really quick, and then we're gonna see. Hopefully my gauge works good. It should. I really hope it does. But I think we're gonna be good. So let me get it done really quick, and I'll be right back with you guys. So guys, this is Duralast part number 445. If you guys need this plug, that's the part number for it. It's 18 bucks. All right, so the plug is wired up, and as you can see, 43-ish, 45-ish maybe pounds of oil pressure at idle. Kind of operating temperature. Gonna let it run for a bit. I do still have to electrical tape the outside of the wires. I just plugged it in to make sure everything worked, but I think we're good. I definitely think we're good. If you guys run into any issues like this with like electrical connectors or whatever, it's best to do everything one wire at a time, so you don't get mixed up with yourself or whatever the case may be. I did this one wire at a time. You should solder your connections. That's highly recommended. I personally didn't do that. It's only an oil pressure sending unit, so that's why I didn't do it. But if it was like a map sensor or something, I would have 100% soldered the connections. Just because the when you add like a wire connector, it actually throws off the like, I don't want to say like the voltage, but like how much resistance the wire has. So it's just a good practice to solder your joints. Like I said, this is just the oil pressure sending unit, so it's not that big a deal to use wire connectors. But you know, do it whichever way you want, but do it one wire at a time. Don't get none of the wires mixed up, and make sure you remember to heat shrink, electrical tape your connections, and you won't have any issues down the road. So yeah. Hey guys, this is just a quick video, just an update for you guys. And you know, I'll be posting a little bit more when it gets a little bit nicer out, but I figured I'd share with you guys what's going on, what's been going on. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like up on this, share it, tell your friends, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Truth or dare? You